Young and restless Danny and Christine actors reveal major obstacles to wedding. Danny Romalotti and Christine Cricket Blair's wedding is one of the most anticipated events on The Young and the Restless this year. However, considering the show's history, nothing ever goes smoothly, and the actors who play these characters, Laura Lee Bell and Michael Damian, share the same perspective. Here's what they had to say about their on-screen relationship. Laura Lee Bell and Michael Damian on Danny and Christine's wedding on The Young and the Restless. During an interview with Soaps.com, Michael Damian, Danny, and Laura Lee Bell, Christine, discussed the major obstacles their characters may face during their wedding. While they both agreed that their big day would be filled with a lot of emotion, Damian questioned, "When has there been a wedding with no drama?" This raises the question of what kind of trouble is awaiting the couple. Many suspect that Phyllis will try to sabotage their marriage, but that theory is quite obvious. Bell hinted that viewers should brace for surprises. She said, "It could not be what you expect. There are multiple dramas, and a few of them aren't what you would expect." Fortunately, fans don't have to wait that long to find out. Their wedding airs at the end of this week on Friday, November 21st. But since the wedding will continue on Monday, November 24th, it seems likely to be a two-part eventful occasion. The soap opera stars also reflected on how Danny and Christine's different interests previously caused a rift in their relationship. Damian recalled how Christine, being a lawyer, would always have her head buried in books, while Danny teased her about it. Meanwhile, Christine was never fazed by his rock star lifestyle and preferred to be at home with her law books. However, after years of struggling, the two have found a middle ground. "Now, cricket is fun. That's why we're getting remarried," Bell shared. "It's very out of cricket's comfort zone to throw caution to the wind and just say, 'I'm going on this journey.' And I think it's been very good, very freeing," she added. To see how it all pans out, tune into The Young and the Restless this week. A tale of second chances, Danny and Christine's wedding and the drama that threatens it. In the long-running, fervidly watched world of The Young and the Restless, YNR, few relationships evoke nostalgia, emotional investment, and twisty soap opera stakes quite like that of Danny Romalotti and Christine Cricket Blair. Their love story began decades ago, rose to great heights, fractured, and now, after years of separation and life's turbulence, is hurtling toward a second walk down the aisle. But as veteran actors Michael Damian, Danny, and Laura Lee Bell, Christine, themselves have cautioned, this isn't going to be a simple happily ever after. Their on-screen wedding is brimming with drama, emotion, and unexpected obstacles. The weight of history. One of the most significant challenges facing Danny and Christine's impending nuptials is their very history. This is not a reunion of star-crossed teenagers, but of two mature adults who have weathered decades of regrets, heartbreak, and lessons learned. Michael Damian, who plays Danny, pointed out in a recent interview that while this second chance at marriage feels deeply meaningful, it's rooted in a long shared past. TV Insider Plus One Danny and Christine Cricket have been intertwined in Genoa City lore for decades. Their first love, their first marriage, their first big heartbreak. This history, Damian suggests, gives their relationship a richer, more layered dimension. There is so much history, and they've been through so much together. TV Insider, but history can be a double-edged sword. All those memories, missteps, and unresolved stories risk resurfacing just when they least expect it. Laura Lee Bell, who has portrayed Christine since she was a young woman, reflects on just how much her character has changed. She describes Christine, once laser-focused on her law books and her work, now as more free-spirited. Coming soon Plus One after years of struggling to reconcile her professional identity with Danny's rockstar life, Bell explains, "Cricket is fun. That's why we're getting remarried." Coming soon, but that evolution didn't happen overnight. The tension between her intellectual, disciplined self and the spontaneity of Danny's touring lifestyle has long been a fault line. External threats, Phyllis schemes and sabotage. If internal doubts and past baggage weren't enough, real danger to their wedding lies in third-party interference, and there's no bigger wild card in Genoa City than Phyllis Summers. According to Soap Opera magazine, Christine has already issued a pointed warning to Daniel, her son, predicting that Phyllis will try to meddle. Soap Opera magazine, this is hardly surprising. Phyllis's history with Danny and Christine is fraught, complicated, and malicious. In the early days, she was more than just a romantic rival. She was a stalker groupie who went so far as to fake a pregnancy, manipulate DNA tests, and break up their first marriage. Primetimer.com +1 That kind of vendetta is not easily forgotten, and now that Danny and Christine are reunifying, Phyllis stands to lose something deeply symbolic, a reclamation of what she once tried to own. Laura Lee Bell seems to acknowledge this tension herself. She has expressed in interviews that Christine doesn't have patience for Phyllis's drama this time around, that she's grown stronger and bolder. People.com +1 Still, as Damien hints, when has there been a wedding with no drama? Coming soon. Given Phyllis's track record, viewers, and the actors themselves, expect her to interfere in some way, whether through emotional manipulation, grand scheming, or a cunning undercutting at the worst possible moment. Soap spoilers add another layer. Phyllis is expected to crash Christine's bachelorette party, injecting her trademark unpredictability. Primetimer.com That sort of intrusion matters because it signals not just a threat to Christine's emotional state, but to the very sanctity of the wedding. For Christine, who has lived through Phyllis's cruelty before, this may not just be fun drama. She sees it as survival. The emotional stakes. Michael Damian and Laura Lee Bell both emphasize that this wedding isn't just ceremonial, it's deeply emotional. Damian described the proposal as surprise and infused with meaning because Danny and Christine have spent so much time apart, traveling, and living unrooted lives. IMDb +1 Now, as they prepare to marry again, there is a longing for stability. Danny has admitted that they haven't really had a home base because of his music career. TV Insider proposing isn't just a romantic gesture, it's a foundation. Bell reinforces that the freeing nature of Cricket's decision to remarry is significant. Coming soon. She talks about how Christine stepping out of her comfort zone, abandoning some of her rigidness and embracing the uncertainty, is a turning point. That vulnerability, that leap of faith, carries huge emotional risk. What if, after giving so much, something goes wrong again? Soap recaps reinforce this. In notable scenes, Danny and Christine revisit their shared past through memory boxes filled with symbolic objects, a guitar pick, a small lei, and more, building up to a deeply heartfelt proposal. Soap Central +1 These flashes of nostalgia are beautiful, but they also underscore how much of their bond remains under construction, how much they have to reconcile. Logistics and practical challenges.